Hello crafty friends, it's Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm here to start a new project, and this is the one I mentioned, the one I did not reveal to you, but I had it on my mind and on my heart to do it. So I'm starting it today, yes. And this is what it is. I had this. This is the two things that inspired me. This Better Homes and Gardens binder cookbook. It's a binder. It's an old one, and I have a few of these, but I had this one that was kind of grungy, pretty grungy, and I was wondering, every time I kind of came across it, I was like, what am I going to do with this? I mean, look at the spine. Of course I'm going to have to cover it up or something, you know. It's a little dirty, and, my other ones that I have are really nice and like clean and kind of look new, even though they're old. So this one was grungy, and I was like, why did I buy this? Type of thing. And then the other thing that inspired me was I have this Shape Santa book, and it's, a paperback book. This is the back cover, and by shape I mean, this shape here is not a square or rectangle or anything. It's shaped. And I was like, what am I going to do with this cover? I could make it into a journal as is and use my metal coil binding machine. But then I thought, I wonder if I can combine the two. So that is what I think I'm going to do. But first of all, I wanted to show you the before of this. And maybe you're saying it's not horrible. No, it's not horrible, but it is. I mean, especially this part here is pretty grungy. So I'm starting from the very beginning. I haven't done anything to it yet. So what I'm going to do is clean. Like, I don't know if I ever cleaned it. I don't know if I just brought it home, and I have a bookshelf. I had it on a bookshelf in my closet here in my craft room with the other ones. I had even like 4 or 5 more of these. The newer ones, now see, this is kind of a matte finish on here. And you know how the newer ones are kind of shiny? And I have made journals out of those, like recipe cookbook journals. And I had a bunch of those because I kept running into them at the thrift store, and I bought them. I mean, I couldn't, it was like a no-brainer. I had to. And so anyway, I ended up selling all of those as is because they were like brand new, even though maybe they were, I mean, I don't remember even how old they were. I just remember people wanting them. I sold them a couple years ago, 4 or 5 of them, and people just wanted them to either like, because they had cooked out of it when they were younger with their mom. And they wanted, I know one lady had said she wanted to pass one down to her son who was now on his own. And so she needed one for him, type of thing. Oh, that's cleaning up pretty good there. I mean, this is going to be all covered up, but I don't want to just cover up dirt, you know what I mean? So this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to do this to complete this cleaning on the outside in a second, like off video. Like, I'm going to pause and do it, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to clean that. But I also wanted to share the inside with you. Let's see what we've got here. I think the metal here is in good shape. It's, they're all together and they're not bent. That would be a problem if that was, because then your pages don't flip nicely when you make it into a journal. But these are good. But I'm going to go ahead and remove the pages because I want to show you the inside, the rest of the inside of what I've got to deal with here. So, and I kind of already looked at it, so I think I know what I have to deal with as far as just cleaning it. But part of it is just taking these pages out of here. And I'm going to keep the pages. In fact, I will probably, if the person that ends up with this, when it's a journal, wants the pages, I will send them along, because I have one of these that I made into a journal for myself. And I have those pages if I need pages, but I really don't need them, if you know what I mean. I have plenty of book pages. I'd like to take this plastic part. Oh, it just kind of pops out here. Yeah, because this is pretty grungy, and I don't think it's, you know, needed or necessary. I've never left it, or I don't even know if I've ever had it in a journal before. But I really, it's really dirty under here, so I want to, it feels just like dusty or something. I don't know. I hope I don't have an allergy attack here. I do have tissues in here, but see, it's pretty grungy, so that's going in the trash. And then this is in decent shape here. This underneath here, it just needs to be cleaned. And so I want to do that. I'm going to keep this and recover that. I've done that before, and it's like a little page pusher. And I will put it in the back. I'll recover it, and it'll be really pretty. I've done that before with these journals. So let me get this cleaned up, and then I'm going to show you my next step. I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I got it cleaned up. Scrubbed it down. It did come. I got a ton of dirt, I would say. I don't know, you know, who knows what it was. Dirt off of here. And I scrubbed the inside. And then I went ahead and put some fabric over, just a little piece of fabric over this right here, because I wanted this covered up. This end piece here, I wanted that covered up. So I just glued a piece of fabric on there. And now I'm going to start with the outside. And so I'm going to put some paper. I'm going to completely cover this up. Because, you know, like I said, it's grungy. Actually, I mean, this doesn't look too bad now, but that was my plan with this one. So, and I've never done that before, completely covered up, except for one that I made for myself. Like I said, I had made one for myself out of it. It was even grungier, like grungier than this one. It was just, you know, it didn't look anywhere near as good as this cover right here, as far as the front goes. The spine was probably in similar shape, but the front was looking more, and back was looking more like this spine than this cover is looking right now. So this is the paper I chose. I just chose paper from my stash that I have that I want to use up. You know what I mean? So what I think I'm going to do, actually I'm figuring this out at this very moment. Do I want to completely cover this up, or do I want to leave a little border around? Like a slight kind of just, you know, like the inside of a book, or like the inside of this book, how it has that little kind of a border around. I think that's what I'm going to do on the front and back. So then you'll see, like, oh, that's what it was. It was a Better Homes and Gardens. The corners are worn, but not too bad. So I usually don't cover up my corners. I like the charm of the worn corners, as long as it's not like horrible or something, and these aren't horrible. So yeah, let's get this cut down. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces to fit right here and on the back, and I think I'll do that off video again. I just paused to save time on the video. It saves you time in watching me do like a tedious thing like just cutting the paper to fit, and it saves time, you know. Well, it doesn't save me any time because I'm still doing the work. So like the video could end up being though like 30 minutes, where it actually took me an hour to do all the things, including the things behind the scenes. So I will be right back after I cut 2 of these, and we'll glue them on together so you can see the transformation. Just one second. Hello, my friends. I'm back. Let's see. So I've got this ready to glue onto the front here, and we're going to get this glued down. Lickety split. I'm actually doing this video in the morning before work. I woke up early, and so I decided to, since, you know, I mentioned I was so anxious to work on this project, and I came in here to work on it. So, but I've only got about 10 minutes left, so we need to get this done. Whatever we're gonna do, we gotta get it done right now. So Yeah, these things take time. I had an hour when I started the video, but the things that I've done off video have taken a while. And so it is what it is. Alright, so yeah, I'm just using some fabric tack. This is not a shiny surface, as I mentioned. It's not a slick, shiny surface. It's kind of a flat, even textured kind of surface on these older Better Homes and Gardens. So this should stick down nicely. So I cut it to fit, and so I'd have a little border here. So this was the front piece that I cut. And there's a nice little border. And over here is going to be covered up with fabric. So, and we're going to have a focal point too. The book that I showed you, the shaped book, but I didn't, did I show you the piece that I cut out? I don't think I did. I showed you the back cover. Let me show you the piece that I cut out. I fussy cut out that Santa. So here he is, fussy cut, even the little holly leaves out of the front cover. This was a little thing that says Santa Claus book right here. I'm going to cover that up eventually. Okay, so we got this glued down. I like that you can see a little bit of the red plaid behind this paper. So let's just kind of make sure everything's glued down. I always use fabric on the spine because it's not going to, crack or wear out or anything like that. It's more flexible. So on any spine, I can't say 100% I've always done that, but I do that now. Unless I don't put anything on the spine, like a single signature little notebook or a journal. Maybe it's just whatever the cover's made out of type of thing. But almost even on that, I usually try to put a little fabric on the spine. Okay, I think that's glued down. I've got glue over here that I don't want to get on my table. Let's see. Let me grab some protection here. I'm not ready to put the fabric on yet. I have the fabric right here. I think we'll get the front cover done, the front and back cover, as far as putting the paper on and the fabric, and then we'll have to do another video to continue on. But this is going to go here. You can see it fits on there nicely. And it's going to be all brand new. This one went, let's see, how far does this go over? So I don't put too much. Well, I mean, I'm going to be putting fabric on in a minute, but I just don't need it to go that far over right now. Okay, so let's get this done. So, this journal is going to be available in my eBay shop when it's all said and done. But it's also, if you have an old grungy binder of any kind, you could possibly do this with it, you know what I mean? Make it into any themed or non-themed journal. Just use up your scraps and cover it up, you know what I mean? If you don't want to make a theme. So, this is an idea for any of those type of binders. And or if you have a binder that you don't necessarily like it's nothing special, and you just like, oh, I don't really like this, what am I ever going to do with this? But you say, oh, it's the perfect shape, or perfect shape and size for a journal, but I hate the cover, type of thing, then you could do something like this. You could use wallpaper too, if you have some wallpaper for the cover, scrapbook paper. I would say, I mean, this is cardstock, so I would say a strong paper though, cardstock or wallpaper, because, you're going to be handling it, and you don't want anything that's going to, like, if you touch it or it touches something sharp or something, it's going to wear it away or tear it or something. So something strong, like not just wrapping paper or something, or tissue paper or something, thin like that, or even regular paper, like copy paper. I would say cardstock or wallpaper. something like that, some strong paper. Okay, now let's do cover up this grungy. Look at that. It just, the color's just worn off. I guess maybe it was just, well loved before. I got it at a thrift store, so I didn't get it. I know I didn't get this one at a let me cut this with, actually my pinking shears. I have them right here. That's what I cut the little piece on the end there with. I just wanted that top end covered because it was pretty grungy looking. I didn't want to leave it exposed. I have made, binder notebooks where the top's been exposed and it wasn't this grungy though. So, yeah. Okay, so this is going to wrap around like this. So let me measure my size real quick. We'll do the rest on video. See, it'll be like that on the outside. Okay, let's cut the length. So I need to cut about right there. Okay, right next to this line. Oops, it's getting caught in my glue there. And let me not put that on the table. Like I said, I didn't want to get it on the table. Okay, right there. This is going to bring, this fabric right here says Merry Christmas in little squares, green and red. And it has red polka dots, kind of little dots there. And it'll bring the paper here together and there's green in the cover, the book cover that I'm going to use as a focal point. There's green on there, so it'll bring it all together. So let's get some glue down here. Let's see. I opened a new bottle of glue this morning. My old one just has a little bit left in it and not worthy of being on video anymore because it's going to give me a hard time. So it has to be used off video now. That's what happens. Kind of cycle through my, so I've only got one upside down now in this new one. So keeping up with my upside down glue bottles, thank goodness. Because I really don't have room to have a bunch of upside down glue bottles in here. I've done that before. I had one over on my desk once before, one over here, and I most recently have been doing better on keeping up with using up the old ones. So I'm covering this pretty good with Fabri-Tac, as you can see, trying to get like almost like every inch of it with some type of glue on it, which I think I have done. I'm going to just put a little bit right here, kind of in the fold, and then once I get this on, we'll deal with the part that wraps around onto the back and the front cover. So this is going to look, it's going to look transformed because I have a plan. I have a plan to cover it all. Okay, let's just do this. I'm going to try to, let's see, this is the front. Let me look at the front here so I can make sure it goes over far enough. He's going to overlap the, that's my plan, part of my plan, cover up. I always overlap the paper with some fabric. Okay, now let me make sure this is straight because it's kind of a, with all little squares, you don't want them to be going off at an angle. Or I don't want them to be going off at an angle. Okay, I think that is straight. Yeah, that's straight there. It looks straight, okay. And there's no directions. The words go like that, so it can be put in either direction. Okay, so let's flatten this out. And let me make sure it's straight. See, it's straight here. Okay, so we're good. We're good to glue it down. Push it down into the glue here. Okay. And then I'm going to push it into that groove. I already put the glue in that groove. There in the fold, front and back, which is right about, well, let me see, right here. If I bend it, I can see it. Okay. Sorry if I'm talking kind of quiet. I'm trying to talk to you and figure out what I'm doing at the same time. Sometimes it's not so easy. I want it tight here. I don't want any wrinkles, so I'm trying to just pull it around and make sure it's tight there. So I'm pushing it into the groove. Okay. I think we are good. Okay, now. Okay, now I don't have to worry about it because we've covered up the glue I had. So remember, this is the outside. Okay, so let's get this part glued down here. So I'm going to put glue up in there and then out to the edge. I don't want it coming out past the edge if I can help it, so hopefully I can help it. Okay, let's kind of start pushing this down. And I'm going to probably attach the centerpiece, and then I would decide if I needed anything else as far as trim and the cover. I wasn't planning on putting any trim, but you never know. I don't always plan on putting trim on the cover, and then I'm like, oh, it needs something, and then I end up putting trim on. So I just kind of play that by ear, unless it's something that like I planned from the beginning, like a little golden book that I'm turning the gold spine inward, or using my metal coils on. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to, that kind of cover. I plan on putting a little something on the cover if I can, unless somebody that wants the journal says I don't want any trim on the cover, which only happened once so far. So most people like some trim, but that's okay. Everybody has their things that they like and they don't like, which is fine with me. I'll do whatever. I do whatever. I'm flexible. There's a little bit of a is it a wrinkle? I don't know what it is. I'm just making sure that's flat. Okay. So that is looking beautiful and clean. Yes, it is. You can see the book around, the little border. I'm just putting my lid on in there for a second, and you see a little border around the back too. Just a little bit. And now the focal point. And I'm really glad to use this old, I think it was like 1970s. I don't have the title. I think I used the title page in a book, in another journal, but that is really cute. An old, vintage paperback cover. I'm glad to be able to use it. Oh, I was thinking about putting it down here, or it looks cute right on the edge, the bottom edge of the paper. And I like how it fills out the whole thing. See, it doesn't need a trim. This is covering up the fabric here. But I will put a little cluster or something right here to cover this circle up. So a little cluster, or a cluster big enough to cover that up. Okay, so I think I like him down like that. I don't like him floating up here. See how, I could do that and it would look fine, but I think it looks better like this. Don't you think so? I really think so. It looks like it belongs there. And that's what I like when I put something down. That's my favorite thing. Like, oh my goodness, it looks like it was always there, or like it was meant to be there type of thing. So, yep, we're going to do it. Oh my goodness, it's happening. Finally. I've had this in my head for a while. Ever since I started talking about it. Well, I had it in my head before I started talking about it, that I had something that I wanted to do. I just didn't know if I was going to do it, because I kind of had it in my mind that I had to do the little golden books first. But I was like, why? I don't make myself do things in any certain order usually. Like if creatively and crafting, I just kind of do whatever you know, I'm inspired and motivated to do. And okay, there's glue. I think there's enough glue on there, Sheree. I think it's gonna stick down. Let's do it, because you gotta go get ready for work. Okay, so right down on the bottom edge, like I said, pretty much kind of in the middle here. All right. Okay, I need to move it over a little. I got it a little bit too far over there. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it just goes from pretty much edge to edge right here. This goes over to the edge, and this goes to the edge. All right. So he is a really retro-looking Santa, I think. But if you don't think he looks retro, at least he looks vintage. And he is a worn Santa. He was worn. That's why at first I was like, I don't think I can do anything with this cover because he's so worn. Like he's got some where he was like little creases down here. Can you see that? But we are rescuing him and using him so he doesn't get thrown in the trash. I just want to move this a little bit. There we go. I did it. It needed to be go a little bit down here. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone so I don't mess it up. And I'm going to make sure he's all glued down, all the edges and everything. So let's test it a little bit. Run my fingernail around here. Yeah. That's all. Is this down here? This right here, I would like a little, if I can get this under here, I would like a little bit of glue right under this edge right here. See how it's not totally down enough. I kind of picked it up though before it was glued down so I could get more glue under there. And I don't want to get glue everywhere, so let me be careful. I already washed my hand. I had glue all over my fingers just from putting that little bit of fabric before I turned back on the camera on the over the top of the spine there. I had glue all over my fingers. Like, what did I do? I don't know, but I had to go wash my hands before I turned back on the video because I was just like, my fingers are covered with glue for some reason. Okay, so that's nice and down. It goes right up to the edge, but it is nice and glued down. There. I mean, I've got the edge flat and with glue on it, so I need to leave it alone and let it dry. But here's what we did. Here's what we did today. I was hoping to work on the inside today too, but that took longer than I thought. But yeah, it's going to work out. I mean, I wasn't sure. Like, is it going to, I mean, I thought it was going to look good in my head, but until you actually do it, sometimes you don't know. But yeah, I think that's super cute. So yeah, like I said, cluster here. And I don't know if I'll put anything on the back, but the back does look beautiful as is. So I will probably leave it. I don't want to, you know, mess it up. It's not calling me for anything at all. So that's a transformation of the front pretty much, except for whatever cluster I'm going to put there. And then look at the old grungy inside. Look how bad it looks now. That this side looks so good. So stay tuned for the next video. We will transform the inside. I'm going to put fabric in here. I already have a piece picked out. And then I have some other, like that was, I want the same paper here, here, and here. So I only have one more of these. Like I said, I'm using up some Christmas paper. So I have one more of these. So I can't, I was thinking of using this on the inside, but I only have one more. But I have two more. Let's see, do I have two more or three more of the next one? Yeah, the next paper that I'm going to use in here, I only have two more. So yeah, I'm really using up some paper. I'm going to have fabric in here, and then we'll start on the pages. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you like the transformation. Leave me a comment. I would love it to just say hi and let me know how you like the journal so far. And if you're interested, let me know. I can reserve it for you. As soon as I list it, you would pay for it. But this one's going to probably be, you know, I'm going to stuff as much as I can in here. But usually it's a bigger journal. So it's probably going to be like $55, just FYI, if you're interested. Usually my two signature little golden books are $45. So since this is a little bigger, a little bit more. But sometimes what I do is, I'll mail it priority mail, but believe it or not, sometimes I don't know how eBay calculates their postage, but sometimes it doesn't cover all of the postage. So some of the postage actually comes out of the purchase price. So whether it's more or not, when the journal's paid for, sometimes I end up paying for part of the postage is what I'm getting at. So, and I don't mind that at all. I would do that for my customers. Whatever postage they've paid, I make sure it goes, unless it's media mail. Media mail goes media mail. But any other mail, if it doesn't, like if you pick ground, I go ahead and pay for priority mail out of the purchase price so that I can get it to you quickly. And I feel like it's safer to go priority mail. So I do that for my customers, just FYI. If you're wondering, if you ever wondered about the postage, you probably didn't, but that's what I do. So that's the thing I do for my customers. Even if you pick ground, I mail it priority mail and I pay for the extra out of the purchase price. So, yeah, this is so cute. I love it. And I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.